I like to think of my poetry as sort of emotional alchemy, taking painful things, painful memories, or even anger that I feel now about what's going on in the world and turning it into something beautiful or helpful. It's a cathartic experience for sure, but I also feel that same kind of sense of empowerment of like, oh, you can't stop me from speaking my truth when I write. My name is D. Fretter. It's like DJ, but there's no J. I'm from Surrey, BC, Canada. Yeah, I still live in Surrey. I'm a Surrey boy through and through. I wish I didn't have a name or this frame. If I could, I'd be the wind, and then I'd just blow away. I'd go dancing in the forest, weaving through the trees. When I'm angry, I'd be a storm. When I'm happy, I'd be a breeze. I'd travel around the world, over mountains, over seas. My luggage would be the clouds, and the birds would be my company. And then I wouldn't need a home, because home is where I roam. There's nothing I'd have to do. There's nowhere I'd have to go. If I were the wind, all my time would be free. I'd be free from my deficiencies, insecurities, and idiosyncrasies. All those things that make you feel isolated and weak. If I was the wind, then I wouldn't be me. My family growing up is kind of complicated. I was adopted when I was like 2 weeks old, and I have one adoptive sibling, an older sister, and I have two half siblings that my birth mother had after she had me. Grew up with my adoptive parents, and I would get visits from my birth mother like every birthday, Christmas, that kind of a thing. There's a smile that I wear from time to time. Mother says that I get it from you. I'm not sure if she means that in a good way. I've gotten lost in the mirror searching for you. I used to believe you were the answer to all of my deepest questions. But not every question gets an answer, does it? As a child, I think I acted happy, but I had a lot of anger and a lot of sadness just kind of following me like an extra shadow. Every family has their secrets, and I just wish I didn't have to be one. She carried me for 9 months and spent that time in a women's shelter, hidden away from her family. She had me in secret and gave me away a few weeks later. I grew up asking myself, why? How come she don't want me, man? And the answers were never clear. I'm told that it's complicated and that I couldn't understand, and that it's not personal. But goddamn, it feels personal. I think that was because I always felt pretty out of place. I grew up in a white family, white neighborhood in a pretty white city, and not that. I'm Afro-Malaysian, and so kind of growing up, being the only black person that you get pretty lonely, and a lot of people would just kind of point out how different and out of place I was, and it made me feel like I didn't belong. So I was angry at the world or God or whoever runs this for putting me in a place I didn't belong, and I was sad because I really wished that I had somewhere I could fit, If you don't love yourself, it's hard to love everybody else. And that's a hard truth, but it's one that I have to tell. Because if you look in the mirror and hate the person in your reflection, then y'all missing out on the deepest of connections. My favorite movie is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. It's iconic cinema, When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. 'cause I could rock any headband, red, blue, orange, purple, and then I'd never go to school, eat pizza all the time, roll around in that dope van, and April O'Neil was pretty fly. I'd be a hero in the half shell, saving the day and fighting crime. A teenage mutant ninja turtle, man, that would be the life. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I was probably like 6 or something like that. My dad had to like take care of me for the day, and my mom was like busy or whatever. And he didn't know what to do with me, and he read in the paper, because people used to read newspapers, that they were showing all 3 of the 90s Ninja Turtle movies like in a row, like as a marathon. And so he's like, talking animals or whatever, that kids like that. So he took me, and my life was over. I changed as a person from that point on. You know, I used to talk normal. Now I'm like, oh, dude, radical, stuff like that. Now this might sound stupid, maybe even nonsensical, but I used to envy the turtles because they all look identical. I'm adopted. A black kid in a white neighborhood, in a white family, yeah, a very white city. And when you're the only black kid that you know, you get lonely pretty quickly. The other kids treated me like a freak. My family made jokes like, you the literal black sheep. At least the turtles had each other. They were best friends, they were brothers. I watch them every Saturday morning and wonder if they could use another. Because I was longing for a community. And that wound still runs deep. Because I wouldn't mind being a freak if I'd had somebody who looked like me. I like to think of my poetry as sort of emotional alchemy, you know, taking painful things, painful memories, or even anger that I feel now about what's going on in the world, and turning it into something beautiful or helpful. It's a cathartic experience for sure, but I also feel that same kind of sense of empowerment of like, oh, you can't stop me from speaking my truth when I write. I've written a lot about being an adoptee, and I've written a lot about my unresolved feelings of anger towards my biological parents and my adoptive parents, and I've been able to kind of share those with other people and find out that, you know, I'm not the only one who went through something like that, which has been really cool. It's really cool to discover that you're not the only person, and we're all a little less alone because of this art. She tells me that she loves me, and I want to believe her. But part of me is still 8 years old, standing on a basketball court, watching some other kid's mom as she jumps and shouts, "That's my baby. You see that? That's my baby." And knowing I'll never hear my mother say the same about me. She once told me, "You will always be the deepest part of my heart and soul." And I wonder if that's why it's so easy for her to keep me buried. You know, am I happy now? Happy feels like a really temporary feeling. I feel a lot more content and a lot more at peace in general, but, you know, on good days I feel happy, and on bad days I feel, you know, bad, but maybe that's normal. I don't know if I could be where I am without creativity, poetry, spoken word. I don't know who I'd be without creativity, and especially poetry, because I've tried a lot of different art forms, you know, done a lot of different things, but poetry is the thing that's felt the most like home. It's felt the most like me. I'm a pretty big deal, but I'm no big deal. I'm a figment of God's imagination. I'm the realest of the real. My thoughts don't have a beginning, middle, or end. Like water in a stream, I'm as solid as a rock. I'm just vibrating energy. I'm a dream chasing dreams, an idea hatching schemes. I'm the trick up my own sleeve. I'm just fading memory. I'm the artist and the masterpiece. I'm the beauty, I'm the beast. I'm the music, I'm the beat. I'm the ocean, I'm the breeze. I take forever to say nothing. I'll say it all in an instant. I'm connected to everything and everyone, and it don't matter the distance. So maybe like 7 years ago, I was driving home from work, and I was coming up on the Alex Fraser Bridge, and I was just about ready to just drive off the side. And I almost did. But, you know, I had my phone, my Spotify on shuffle or whatever, and this song I hadn't heard came on, and the lyrics really spoke to me, and I was like, all right, live another day. Didn't steer off, kept driving, went home, went to bed. I remember being really kind of disappointed in myself that I had gotten to that point and I was about to give up. Your validation doesn't come from the people that you know or accomplishing a goal. We keep trying that. It doesn't work and it's getting old. You're already valid. It's just the world doesn't want you to know. And I bet we could see this more clearly if we stop dimming the light inside our souls. Yo, my poems are kind of redundant, but I don't really mind. Because I'll be talking about self-love until the day I die. See, I believe we were created and that everything has a touch of the divine. So whatever it is you're searching for, well, it isn't that hard to find. So tap into your heart and quiet down your mind. Take your deficiencies and insecurities and throw that behind. Because you are worthy. You might be hurting, and life has dragged you through the mud so you're bloodied up and dirty, but you are worthy. And you have always been. It's okay to love yourself. I'm going to say that again. You are worthy. You have always been. The self-love is a journey. It's about time that we begin. The song was called Difference Maker by a band called Need to Breathe. It's a really simple song, but something about it just really spoke to something inside of me. I couldn't tell you what it was, but yeah, that song saved my life. Yeah, when I was at that low point, I'd never really thought of myself as someone who couldn't see a way out. I'd never thought of myself as somebody who would give up. And so I think the fact that I was at my breaking point scared me. And so I sought out a therapist and I got into meditation. I quit smoking cigarettes and the devil's lettuce or marijuana, whatever you want to call it. And I tried to make some decisions about like living a healthier life. And yeah, I turned to art, but at the same time, I think I knew that like I had the art, but I just kept repeating that I was angry or that I was sad. And so I wanted to add these other elements to my life to kind of balance things out. Sometimes people treat you like you're a broken machine. They got their plans, their ideas, and their schemes to remake you into what they want you to be. Sometimes people treat you like you're a broken machine. They don't care about your thoughts or your hopes or your dreams. After all, you're just a machine, not a living, loving, breathing human being. Sometimes people treat you like you're a broken machine. They got schematics and blueprints you ain't never seen. And they show you all the things that need fixing. You're not like this, be like this. You're not like this, be like this. You're not like this, be like this. So you better change. You'll be dismissed. So you fall in line. Because conformity is less painful than lonely is, right? Y'all just fit into the system, right? Fill the space you weren't meant to fit in, right? You can barely breathe, it's so tight. And it's so dark, you forgot about the light. You forgot that you are not a machine. Those aren't wires, those are veins. That's not a hard drive, it's your brain. You're not malfunctioning, you are just in pain. And you forgot that you are not a machine. I've said it before, but you are a living, loving, breathing human being. You have a heart. You have a soul. And there's so much more to you than anyone could ever know. We've all got our voids, but only love can make you whole. We've got our problems, so you are not alone. It's time to start your healing and make your heart your home. I try not to be too married to one process or something like that. I find that when you try to strategize your inspiration, it becomes a form of manipulation, and I don't want to manipulate anybody. I just want to keep it real. And so when I write poems, I usually just try to pay attention to fun facts or interesting things that people say, and I use it like a personal prompt. So like I have a poem that's about diamonds in space because I heard a fact that there's a diamond out there that's the size of Earth, and I thought that was pretty wild. Y'all heard somewhere in the universe there's a diamond the size of planet Earth, which puts into perspective what a diamond's really worth. There's diamonds and gold all over outer space, but apparently you won't find a blade of grass in any other place. And it's unsurprising we've been given such a great cosmic gift and we let it go to waste. Yo, pretty soon the corporations are gonna charge us for air to breathe. Even though trees been giving it away for centuries, it's almost like we forgot that we came from the ground. And the soil's our hometown. And the answers to this existential threat come from within, not out. They're not up, they're down. We're disconnected from ourselves, we're too connected to our screens, waste our lives chasing likes and money, sex, and greed. And now they got us programmed like we the machines. And we don't know the difference between a want or a need. Yeah, I heard somewhere in the universe there's a diamond the size of planet Earth. Which makes me ask the question, yo, what's a diamond worth? It's always profit, people, planet. We should put that in reverse because we ain't got another Earth laying around the universe. Yo, I think it's bizarre. You can imagine flying cars and colonizing Mars, but a more livable Earth is going too far? Like a world without racism and patriarchy is going too far? Nah. We're constructed from a bunch of power structures and social constructs, like race and class and gender and all this other stuff. We're a product of our culture, but yo, culture is a product of us. The rules to this game of life are all made up. It's kind of but yo, if it's all made up, we could make up something better. Like, yeah, why not? I think of forgiveness as almost like a daily practice. It's not a one and done thing. So a lot of days I can forgive the various people who've caused me pain because I know I've caused other people pain and I hope they can forgive me. And then on worse days, I kind of don't bother. And I can feel that in body, you know, like you kind of feel that chip on your shoulder, that weight. I don't know if I struggle with it. I do my best to practice it, but I'm human just like everybody else, so I have my faults and my failures. So I attended a Dutch Reformed Christian high school. And I would say I wouldn't wish that experience on my worst enemies, but that's where I met them. I encountered racism of varying degrees daily, from microaggressions to full-on assaults. Older kids would grab and caress my hair and be like, "Hey, that's your fault for having an afro, bro." My classmates would make racist jokes, some going so far as to call me an N-word, and one liked to beat me when he did it. And if I would fight back or voice my outrage, I'd be told I had no reason to complain because I'm not that black. Okay, well, how black do I gotta be? How black do I gotta be before the words that you speak that stick into my gut like a dull knife are allowed to make me bleed? How black do I gotta be before your gaslight runs out of fuel and you're left alone in the dark? How black do I gotta be before you beating me for being black is a hate crime and not just playing around? Please explain this blackness to racism scale, because I don't understand it. Probably because I'm not that black. But wait, I'm black enough to be followed by security guards when I walk into nice stores. I'm black enough to be told I can't get married to a white woman. I'm black enough to get assaulted by police for going for a walk in my own neighborhood, so I'm pretty black. And my blackness is not up for debate. And even if it was, you are not qualified to speak on it. blackness be my birthright. It's the only gift my father ever gave me. My blackness is beautiful. Ain't nothing funny about it. My blackness is powerful. Ain't nothing lesser about it. My blackness is wonderful because when God knit me together, he gave me this skin. You only dress royalty in the finest. So if your bigoted eyes can't see a masterpiece when you see one, gouge them out. The worst feeling I've ever felt is hopelessness. You know, when you don't have hope anymore, I feel like what's left, you know. My hope for the future is that we can start to realize that we are all in this human thing together and that it's not about us, it's about us. It's just that sometimes I get tired of this human. Everybody's fighting over stupid, tripping over divisions that shouldn't exist. It feels like everyone's trying to chase clout and climb a social ladder. I'd rather knock it down and let it shatter, because in the end it don't matter. Bro, even matter don't matter. And we've lost sight of all the things that really matter. Poetry is like the vehicle for your truth, whatever that truth may be. It might be beautiful, it might be ugly, it might be painful, it might be hopeful, but poetry is the thing that moves that truth forward and gives it to other people or gets it in other people's lives, and that's how we build connections, through communication.